Evolution and growth of commerce. In this module, you will learn about the stages of evolution of commerce. Commerce has steadily evolved and increased since the start of human civilization. The evolution of commerce has undergone a number of stages. These include the hunting and gathering stage, the pastoral stage, the agricultural stage, the handicraft stage, the barter system stage, the money economy stage, the town economy stage, and the international trade stage. Let us learn about each of these stages in detail. The earliest stage of human civilization saw primitive man as a wanderer who traveled places to find enough food and a safe place to survive. Man hunted animals and gathered fruits, roots, and nuts for food, and also carried out fishing. They lived in caves or on trees and covered themselves with leaves or animal skin so that they could protect themselves from the sun, wind, rain, and snow. Primitive man was completely dependent on nature. During this stage of hunting and gathering, no economic activity took place. In the next stage of evolution, human civilization leaned on the domestication of animals. Man began tending cattle, sheep, and goats to provide themselves with food and clothing. Man still continued to live a nomadic life in search of grasslands and favorable conditions. Although man had moved to another level of development, trade and commerce did not exist. The next stage of farming and cultivation sowed the seeds of commerce and economic activity. People started settling down in a fixed place, living in groups. Thus, communities and villages came into existence. Members of the family distributed among themselves the work of growing crops and other household work, thus starting the basic form of division of labor. Agricultural activities led to the development of tools and implements related to farming. People were engaged in tool making and the construction of houses. This gave birth to a number of skilled craftsmen. These craftsmen or artisans included potters, blacksmiths, weavers, masons, and carpenters. The artisans supplied their specialized services and goods to the agriculturalists in exchange of certain requirements. This gave rise to the barter system of exchange. The division of labor and specialization of services increased production as well as the methods of production. This led to an increase in the production and exchange of goods. In the barter system, goods were directly exchanged for goods. Hence, this system was also called as the system of direct exchange. Eventually, a number of problems arose as a result of the direct exchange. Some of these problems were the lack of double coincidence of wants, the lack of common measure of value, the problem of subdivision, and the problem of storing and transporting goods. Coincidence of wants refers to the exchange of goods between two parties. The problem of double coincidence refers to the difficulty finding two parties whose disposable possessions mutually suit each other's wants. For example, Party X has rice and wants wheat. Party Y has wheat but wants sugar. The problem in this case is that Party Y is not ready to barter for rice. The lack of a common or standard unit of measure refers to the difficulty in deciding the quantity of goods to another. For example, it was difficult to decide the number of sheep for one measure of wheat or the number of apples for one load of bread. The problem of subdivision refers to the impossibility of division of goods for exchange. For example, a cow cannot be divided for 2 measures of wheat. The barter system also posed inconvenience in movement of goods from one place to another and in the storage of goods for a long period of time. People tried to overcome the problems posed by the barter system by using different means of exchange. These included salt, beans, cattle, teeth, and cowries shells. Later, metals evolved into money. Copper, gold, and silver coins were used as a medium of exchange. Paper money eventually came to be used. Presently, bank and plastic money in the form of checks, drafts, bills, debit cards, and credit cards are widely used in modern economies. The modern economy is a money economy. The use of money as a medium of exchange gave rise to the institution of market. It encouraged the growth of domestic as well as foreign trade. The introduction of money also gave rise to the indirect exchange of goods. The process of production of goods and services also became more complex. As the volume of goods that were produced started increasing, the producers began exchanging their goods at local markets. Gradually, these local markets developed into towns. With the rise of merchants and craftsmen, commerce developed and market area extended vastly. The 15th and 16th centuries saw the rise of geographical discoveries. Vasco da Gama, Christopher Columbus, Bartolomeo Dias, Captain James Cook, and Ferdinand Magellan were some of the great European explorers during this time. These discoveries of uncharted areas gave rise to new trading markets and European colonization. Later, the Industrial Revolution that took place in England ushered in the age of machines. Large-scale production of goods, standardization and gradation of goods, revolution of transport and communication contributed in the expansion of markets at the international level. The 21st century ushered in the age of information technology. Later, the trend of internet banking, telemarketing, privatization of industries and insurance sector came in. It has encouraged the use of electronic and online media for trade and advertising. Multinational companies set up across the globe have encouraged the production of specialized goods on a large scale and an offering of competitive rates. This has helped save the cost of production in manufacturing and product development. In this way, commerce has helped in the economic development across the globe. Let us now recap all the important points that we have covered in this module on the evolution and growth of commerce.